Are we ready, Carson? All right. So, hey, guys, thanks for being here today, the media. It's great to do this again. Great to kick off another high school football season. And you guys, if you want to move up, you can move up, move tables, whatever you need to do before we get started. We're just going to pass around the microphone as we have questions today. And again, thanks for being here, and look forward to working with you guys again, and look forward to a great high school football season again this year. So first up, as I told Coach Harris, I think this is the third year he's been first. So next year we may change the order just a little bit, so he won't have to be first. But Coach, thanks for being here today with your team, and the Gaston Bulldogs are up first. Coach, if you'd just make some comments about the team and introduce the guys, or let them introduce and the position they play, we'd appreciate it today.
It's good to be here this morning. We'll start over here. We've got Kobe Harris. He's our senior running back and linebacker. We've got Josh Hester, going to be playing running back and linebacker for us. He's a junior. And then on this side, we've got Nemo Samples going into his sophomore year. He's an O-line, D-line for us. And Luke Collingsworth is a junior on my end, and he is O-line, D-line for us as well. We brought these four guys because, Kobe has been a starter since day one. When I got here at running back, Nemo's been starting since before I got to Gaston as a seventh grader. Luke's been starting for us for 2 years now on the O-line. And then Josh is going to be a big addition for us this fall at running back and at linebacker, so we're looking forward to all four of them, seeing them play. And the biggest thing about all four of these gentlemen is they do everything right. They lead by example. You may not get as many answers out of them today as you would like, but they are going to be where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be doing, and playing football the way it's meant to be played. As far as the whole team goes, I was thinking about it on the way over here. I've been here, this is third season at Gaston, and I feel like we're finally at the place where we can do those things that we've said since we got here that we wanted to do, which is play physical football, old school style, hit people in the mouth. And it's a team that I really enjoy being around right now. They love each other. They like being around each other. They treat each other with respect. They look out for each other. They've matured into a bunch of guys who will coach each other, help each other out. When somebody doesn't know what to do, they'll get together after practice and they'll start talking about, well, when you get this, you do this, and telling guys how to really play the position that they're playing. We've got guys stepping up and leading off-season work when nobody's making them do stuff. We've gone 5 a.m. every morning this summer. We haven't had very many misses at all outside of what they were allowed to miss, and we're practicing at 5 a.m. all fall is our plan right now, and they're showing up, they're getting the work done, they're happy to be there. The only thing they're not happy about is they're probably a little hungry by the time we walk off the field. So it's a great bunch of guys, and I'm really excited to see what they can do this year.
Coach, I know a couple of years ago, first year, you started a lot of young guys. Now these guys are older, more experienced now. Could you talk about how many returning starters, offense and defense? I know a lot of those guys have probably played two positions. And again, you referred to the experience this team has going into this year.
Really, you can go position by position, and everybody that's going to walk on the field on a Friday night this fall outside of the Hesters have started at some point in time over the last 2 years. There's not a guy on our team that has not had to step up and play over the last 2 years at some point in time. So really, we look at all of them and say they're all returning starters. And even for Josh and Joel, Joel played a lot for us when he was a ninth grader the first year, and Josh played at Etowah last year. So he's had playing time in 4A, and I think that's going to carry over. So really, we look at all of them as returning starters, and they all like that way. They all carry themselves that way. So the experience helps, and the biggest thing is they've matured physically. I told everybody at our sports banquet back in the spring. When I got here, our squat max was about 185 as a team average, and we're going to go in the fall with a team average of about 300, and that makes a huge difference on Friday night. So our strength is there, our speed is there. Got here, our average 40 time was a 5.8 in that neighborhood, and now team average is about a 5.2. So we're faster, we're stronger, we're bigger. Now all we got to do is go out and prove we can win.
Coach, getting to sit with you in your office the other day, a couple of weeks ago was very special to me, getting to know you personally. And I could look in your eyes and tell you there's something a little bit different about this team and the confidence level. Talk about that confidence coming in, because like you said, you got some guys who have grown up now, but you also know you can hang your hat on these guys. And like you said, they're coaching themselves at this point. Talk about that and how much that's making your job a little bit easier. And coming into this season, the mindset's completely different.
It's so much easier when you can trust your guys and know that they're accountable to one another and that they're not just accountable to you. And that's probably the biggest thing that I've seen grow in them is they don't necessarily look at it as, hey, what's going to happen if I don't do this? Am I going to get in trouble with coach? It's, what's my buddy going to think? What's my teammate going to think? And junior high guys, 7th and 8th and 9th grade guys, they struggle with that concept, and that's why they play junior high. But by the time they get to varsity, they begin to understand that. And people don't really realize what we were doing the last 2 years. The first year there, we were essentially a junior high team with a few seniors. The second year, we were a JV team with a few seniors. And we were finally a varsity football team. So it makes my life a whole lot easier because we can roll out there. They know the process. They know what we're going to do. From year to year, drills change, things like that change. We went out yesterday morning, day one, and we put in new drills, and we said this is the way practice is going to work. And we ran through that pretty quick, and by today we were getting after each other with helmets on. Helmets and dummies, and we were probably more physical this morning than we have been in full pads the last 2 years.
Coach, you just touched on the physical improvements you saw from these guys. Talk about how you see the mental toughness developing since you took over the program. You got to expect, like you said, these youngsters took their medicine from the big lead. They were young. They had to play on those Friday night lights. Talk about how the mental toughness has developed.
Well, for most of our guys, this is the other thing I'll say. Everybody on our team at some point in time has been injured over the last 2 years. And football coaches talk about this all the time. There's a difference between hurt and injured, and they're starting to understand the difference between hurt and injured. We were at OTAs the other day, and Kobe dislocated his pinky. He didn't scream, he didn't fall on the ground, roll around. He just walked over and said, "Hey, coach, I think I broke my finger." I looked at it, said, "No, it's dislocated," popped it back in. He went over the sideline for 2 plays, and he was back in. So they know the difference between that now, and he's tougher than anybody will ever know. He's broke both fingers in 3 years. So, and didn't cry when he broke his second finger at practice. So all these guys are starting to understand that. They get as a 7th or 8th grader, you get a bump or a bruise or something hurts. You're like, oh my goodness, I can't play anymore. I'm injured. And as 10th graders, and they go, oh, okay, let's go. So that's the mental side of it, is they've just really figured out that football is this, and this is what it takes to get on the field on Friday night, and this is what I've got to play through. And they know if they're injured, they come talk to me, and they let me know, and we get it checked out and seen about. And we go through all those processes. I promise you we go through all those processes. And Hannah does a great job for us in checking them out and making sure that they're okay to go before they do go. But they're not going to let a dislocated finger stop them from playing a football game. So.
All right, Coach, well, this is for the players. You 4 guys, Coach could have brought any 4 guys with him today to come speak at Media Day. How does it make you guys feel knowing that he chose you to come and represent your school and your community today? Starting over here.
It feels good. I really don't know how to describe it for real. It just feels good. I've been working hard. I just wanted this, want to have a good season. I'll pass it to Kobe.
It feels nice. It feels like I got like a pat on the back. All the hard work I've been putting in for the past 3 years. Going on the fourth makes it feel nice knowing that Coach can trust me enough to let me get out here and talk to y'all.
It feels good because I usually don't like talking in front of people, and I think I'm mature enough for it. So yeah, I think.
It feels great to come out here and talk because it shows the trust Coach has in us to represent our school, and we've been putting in the work, busting our tails to make this season much better than the past two have gone.
Yeah, for the three returners, how do you guys feel going into this season compared to last season or 2 years ago? How do you guys feel going in right now?
I feel a lot more confident. All my players, I feel like they've grown a lot bigger, and they have a lot more confidence in that they can actually do the things that they're supposed to do instead of wondering if they're doing it right. They know that they're doing it right. They just want to know if they're doing it the best they can possibly do at this point.
I feel good because, like, we ain't as small as we used to be and stuff like that. And everybody know what they're doing. And, like, our strength and stuff is more better.
I feel great going into this next season because our energy has gotten better. Our morale has improved. We've gotten stronger, faster, and bigger. We've gotten smarter, and we've learned how to deal with the tougher situations as the game goes on.
Right here. I'm going to piggyback off what you just said. Coach mentioned the 5 a.m. workouts and the accountability that you guys are showing this offseason. This is for all the players. We can go back in reverse order. What are some of the things that you are all doing and what you're seeing from the leadership group to take this team to the next level this year?
You want to start off?
Like after practices or like days off, like a week off, we got a group chat, and we'll text in a group chat. We'll get everybody come to the field, and even if it's linemen, we find something to do with them. We could teach them new things, teach them how to play the position better, and that's it.
To be honest, I like getting better with the team, and I like communicating with them. I feel like it helps them ease their mind into what they got to do in practice and like in the game situation. I feel like us practicing off the field is a big help, and it's improving the confidence by like a lot into what we got to do when we have to do it. So.
Coach, there's a question for you. Now that you've been there 3 years, have you, and you mentioned about having a lot of young players, and coaching myself for 35 years, have you been able to, after these 3 years of younger guys, now you're getting a little bit older, have you been able to fully install all of your defensive and offensive philosophies? I know how that changes, but has it gotten to the point where you feel good about what you've been able to get installed in these kids?
Yeah, I mean, we've had to kind of jump around a little bit over the last 3 years just because with young guys, we were just trying to figure out what fit them best and what kind of fit our school the best and the personnel we felt like we were going to have from year to year. So we're down to a place where we've drilled it down to this is what we're going to do and this is what we're going to look like and this is what we're going to be. There's a lot of hours this off season to really finalize all those concepts between me and my DC, Coach Pruitt. And, you know, they weren't always easy conversations, and they weren't all, I mean, you've been a coach before, you know, those conversations aren't always just amicable. Sometimes people get, you know, we all get passionate about what we're doing, and we've been back and forth on a lot of stuff, and we finally drilled it down to what we're all comfortable with and saying this is what Gaston football is going to be. As far as getting it installed with the guys, you know, we were able to get the ball rolling a little bit earlier this summer and start putting things in, concepts in. So we feel like they understand what we're trying to accomplish. They understand what we're doing now fully. And I think they feel good about what we're running offensively and defensively. So from here on in, we really don't foresee any huge major shifts for the rest of our time.
Coach, just comment on your schedule coming up, 2A Region 6 this year. Do you play a jamboree on the 12th? Is there any plans to play a jamboree? I know you open with Asbury, I believe, on Friday, the 19th.
Yes, we open with Asbury on the 19th at home. We don't have a jamboree scheduled. We were kind of hoping that the rule would pass that would allow us to do inter-squad scrimmages. So we were kind of holding off to see if that would actually pass through the HSAA. Because as a coaching staff, we felt like that might be more beneficial to us than going and actually playing a jamboree. But it failed to pass, and that's neither here nor there. But really, once we figured out that wasn't going to go through, we talked about it as a coaching staff, and we felt like what we needed to do for us and our numbers and our depth was just to say we're going to get as good as we can get going against ourselves and roll out week 0 and play and let the rough ends drag. So.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys. Good luck to the Bulldogs this year, and thanks for participating again this year in Media Day.